Yo, what's up, y'all? Willie Beeman here, getting ready to bring you guys another 2K17 video. So as you guys can tell by the title, this is the debut of my post score on YouTube. So I've grinded this guy up, try to get all of his badges. He's probably my most badge grinded player that I have, out of the 8 that I have. And he's kind of like so-so, I'm not gonna lie. I can't really tell you that you should make this build yet. I haven't played enough games with him, and honestly he's been kind of like underperforming on what I think he should be doing for a post scorer. And I'll give you guys a couple of the things that I've noticed about post scorers, and this is mostly just my part. In Pro-Am, they're really good players. The post fade cheese is definitely like the cheese of the Pro-Am. So if you have a post scorer on your Pro-Am team, get him to master his post shot, because that's definitely a great way to like score a bunch of points. I mean, it's pretty amazing how easy it is. But yeah, just getting back to that, man. If the post scorer didn't have brick wall, I probably wouldn't even considered making him, because brick wall is probably the best badge that he has. So if you really don't want to do much post scoring, you might as well just make a glass cleaner, because they have so many more advantages over a post scorer. Now watch this. Oh man, you'll say Jack Fresh. I had to rewind this because I almost didn't catch this the first time I saw it, but he broke that dude way down. And then watch this play. Now you see that layup right there? I missed that layup, and that's mostly because, and my layups and dunks are completely maxed out. And that's because this player, I even have relentless finisher on him and difficult shots. This player is not like an athletic finisher or slasher. It doesn't finish around the rim like really consistently like those players do. So like there's a lot of times that I'll do an up and under, or I'll get by a man, but it'll still be like contested, because that's what post scorers usually, they don't ever like get wide open shots out of the post. And it'll be slightly contested, and I'll miss it, even with Hall of Fame badges popping up and all that good stuff. So honestly, like I probably would consider making a slasher, like a 6'11". This guy's 6'11". He's like a LaMarcus Aldridge build is kind of what I was going for. And my dude's 6'11". And I think if you were gonna go for like a post scorer, I would actually, if I could go back, I would probably go back and make a 6'11" slasher, and then max out his post scoring and just get all the badges on bronze. Just because it's kind of incredibly frustrating playing with this guy whenever he doesn't finish a lot of layups around the rim. I mean, I can't stand it, honestly, especially with these Hall of Fame badges popping up. I feel like the Hall of Fame badges should turn me into a slasher at those moments in time whenever I perform those moves. But it's really not working out that way so far. So I'm not gonna say don't make a post scorer just yet. I'm just gonna kind of leave it up and try to play with them a little bit more, just to see what I can do with them. If you guys have post scorers and you got tips or anything like that, throw them down in the comments. I've been playing post scorer for forever on this game. If you guys go back and look at my 2K16 videos, I actually have post scoring tutorials for 2K16, so it's not like I'm new to the post scoring game. It's definitely a lot different this year. I would definitely say that 2K's really messed up the consistency, which is a huge thing for post scorers. Like, you want to be able to do certain moves at a certain point, or else it's really going to mess you up, pretty much like a playmaker would be with dribble moves. But this year, like, if you're even slightly off with your shot stick in doing a certain move between the drop step and the hop steps, and sometimes some up and under moves, it really messes up like bad. So that's really one thing that I've noticed. So here goes an up and under, which I actually did. He finished. That was great. And that happens. It's probably 75 to 25 in terms of when he finishes like that and when he messes up. But that's a huge percentage. And a lot of people, whenever I go at these builds, especially like the slasher one that I threw up a little while back, you guys are like, oh, I cook with my slasher, I'm so good, I can never be stopped. Well, you guys maybe can't be stopped in a couple of games here, but then if you get stopped in the next game, that's okay. So you are a monster 33% of the time, or 66% of the time, or 75% of the time. That's not what I want out of a MyPlayer. I want a consistent MyPlayer that's always good. And you guys don't think about this. You're like, oh yeah, I got 17 points in a game once. Like, no, that's not what you want out of a MyPlayer whenever you have to spend hours upon hours grinding that man up. You want him to be consistent day after day, game after game, which is what my stretch big is. That's why like 90% of my games that I played in the park is with my stretch big, because I can consistently hit 3-point shots with him. Like, I know for a fact that I'm going to score almost all of the time whenever I have an open shot. If I'm open, that shot is going in. Like, I have almost 100% confidence. Whereas with a lot of other players, if I'm open, I have very little, or I have slightly high confidence, just depending on what player I have. So right here, this is what I used to do last year with my post score. I would 1v1 right at the very end. I would do a post spin, and it would work every time, especially against inferior scorers or inferior defensive statistics, which this year every player has except for the lockdown defender. But as you saw right there, that dude is not a lockdown defender. That post spin should work literally every time since he's a smaller player, but it didn't. So it's like, why should I make a post score? It doesn't make any sense if I can't just straight cook him without even trying. So we'll see. I'm going to keep practicing with them, see if I can figure out some secrets and things like that to make them a little bit more consistent and a little bit better. But honestly, right now, I would tell you guys to avoid post scores. It's just too easy to stop them on defense if you know how to stop them. And honestly, as a post scorer, it's slightly frustrating around the rim sometimes. So anyway, I hope you guys like this review. I know I'm gonna get some like hate from the post scorers in the comments, but you know, I love you guys, man. Hey, let's bring back the post scoring in this game, man. I love post scoring. It's awesome. But anyway, man, this is Willie Beeman, and I'm out. Peace.